What's up, YouTube? For those of you that have the notification bell turned on, this is a day late. Luckily, I put this video out on the weekend, so kind of doesn't matter. Sorry if it interrupted your Saturday routine. I know when you're just out, you're at the bars, the clubs, you know, doing your Saturday night thing, you're thinking, I could really watch Don's video right now, and probably upset that didn't happen. And I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about the expected moves for the market this week, kind of my opinion on what I think in general. And then we'll see how they pan out. We're going to look at again, the expected moves. This is derived from all the options. This is where market makers, again, they need to stay at a neutral delta. So they have everything hedged and accounted for in between these spots. When we get outside these spots, someone's got to go to work. They got to start hedging. They got to start buying shares against options. And the big players, they buy options, right? So it's typically retail and the little guy buying shares. So shares are mostly used as a hedge. So we can really pick a lot, especially when something's super liquid. These markets are very efficient. In fact, that's a play I make every week. It's actually something I'm adding on to as well, if you do have my bot. So we'll jump into it, and it should probably make sense when we get into the charts. So let's just pull it up. First of all, we rallied last week off the rate hike decision, right? It was a super strong day. Next day, boom, right back down. Now, the rate hike decision, I nailed every move to the T the night before. Like that's, I said we would, I would say we'd sell off in the morning, and then there'd be a rally after. So if you did any of that, I told you guys I was going to short and then buy. It ended up being one of the best days. And then the next day, but also what I talked about was we got to see where the green candle goes. Is there any follow through? Does it end up being a wick? Is there a green candle followed by another green candle? And the part that screwed me up, because I was bullish going into the next day, was that the bulls ran it into the close. There was just, the bulls didn't stop, the clock did. Now that's something important to remember and to look into, because that kind of tells you where the buyers and sellers are. Like, did we actually stop at a certain level? And we did. We ran right into a zone on most things. We ran right into the expected moves, and then we bounced, which was just too obvious for me. I thought the bulls were going to push it. Then we'd see a lunchtime turnaround. We gapped down just the tiniest bit the next morning. Nothing to even be worried about if you were bullish. And but then that was just the crack in the armor, and it just shattered. And then we sold off having just a really red day across the board. So we need to see where we're at. It's obviously still, the trend is down. I mean, more red candles than green. I mean, most tickers look like this. They're selling off. Any green candles are just rallies to be shorted. I kind of think overall we are on the oversold side. And just like in a bullish market, we can get a little overbought and we need to pull back. And I hate to be saying I'm fishing for that. I just hate to go short at the bottom. But I am looking for some kind of green this week to get a good position into. In the meantime, I have put spreads. I have a position in SQQQ. I'm shorting it with shares and put spreads. If we do get that green rally, intraday I'll be buying, and I'll take part in that. But once we do get that rally, a good couple solid green days in there, that's when I'll switch to naked puts to write that down, because I do like the exponential effect of that. But right now, I just don't want to buy a put naked and then just get smoked on a pullback. That to me, risk reward just doesn't seem worth it just yet. So let's just grab the expected moves really quick. Tesla, $70. Actually, I'm gonna start charting out Amazon. 133. While we have that up there, let's just grab that. I'm curious how efficient this one is. Now, it's laughable when this one has a $50 expected move, because we're going outside then. 130 bucks. I mean, Amazon, the hard part about this is Amazon can go 130 bucks. It could go up 130, down 130, up 130. I guess it could go up 130, down 130 twice, then up 130. We end the day nothing. That's what's actually awesome about Amazon, is how much it moves. 130 bucks is just a good solid hour for Amazon. Let's say that. Okay, back to our normal routine. Alright, so IWM 759 by 760 move. QQQ, we got 1386. And SPY, we got 1375. Oh, sorry, I got my coffee in the way. A part I'm doing lately is, so I have a bot, and the reason I even opened up a TOS account was just to run this bot, and something I'm adding on to is, so it sells a call spread and put spread every week, but one thing I'm adding, and right now it's me doing it on the, so I'll do it on the manual side for a while, and then I'll implement it in the bot. I gotta make sure it works. I gotta see the real ups and downs of this. And I did just do the math. Right now the bot, so I funded it with 500 bucks. And it's up 30% now. Even with the, let's get to SPY real quick. So some people get really worried about the, that's not 17, it's $177 loss. It's a $2 spread, so it's 200 bucks, less what you collected for it. So you'll see all these winners, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the numbers game. You have to really understand the markets in general. I wouldn't suggest buying a bot if you didn't know what you were doing anyway. Once we add in this week's, yeah, so it's up 30%, just the bot. My account is, hang on a second. Is up 60%. So what I've been doing on top of this play is, so on a green day, I'm selling call spreads. On a red day, selling put spreads. So anytime I get advantage of, so when the market pushes up, and regardless, this green day was a buying frenzy, so I sold some call spreads. Now I'm still going out of the money. I'm still going out of the money, still selling to the gamblers. But what would have been, like, I would have collected a couple dollars max, turned into, I'm going to collect $60 on a $2 spread, and any pullback, any sideways action smokes that. So it's taking advantage of that, just that buying frenzy of everybody like, oh, here it goes, going to the moon. And that same emotion when it goes to the downside on a red day, selling put spreads because, oh my gosh, you know, it's going to zero. I told my chat that they needed to chill because on the red day, now this was going into Friday, so from Thursday to Friday, still collected, I don't know, $50-ish. I sold some 401 SPY spreads. Now we had plenty of room to the downside, but we were here. We were 413. I sold 401. SPY would have to move $13 for me to take that loss. So it did take that play. That's the only one that's ever been inside the expected move. Most of the other ones have just been outside the expected move. But I wanted to test a percentage down. We sell it, put it in there. I don't know if I will have that continued in case we do just see a melt off. But that'll put you at, instead of 1 play a week, 5 plays a week, which makes up for these. Now, if you just take these numbers, just this alone, again, we're up 30%. We'll have way more wins than we will losses. That will just amplify it times 5. Anyway, let's chart out these moves. All right, SPY was 1375. Oh man, that's not a good look. And it's important you guys either check out the Teachable link down below, because I do have a course that does come with my mentorship where I go live every night. I don't usually try to sell that, but if I get the Rona, I don't know how many more times, I'm either curious, A, I get abducted by the government, or B, I just die. I'm rolling the dice every time. And for the record, I'm vaccinated. Yeah, still got it a million times. I don't know if this is the 4th or the 5th time I've had the Rona. Don't really appreciate it. So it would be really sweet if you guys figured this out before I died. We're not pricing quite as big of a move. And this week we collected 29. Every time you see these, that will not be the additional plays. Alright, before I forget the other ones. 1386. But yeah, the other stream, I don't know, if I tried to do this yesterday, I don't think I would have got a solid word out. I was just coughing non-stop. Man, does it get old. So either way, we're pricing in a lower, lower, lower high. That's exciting. Look at that, just a nice, solid. Let's go to the weekly real quick. Let me save that real quick. Go to the weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks down. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, we're already breaking rules. We're only supposed to have 3 or 4 max. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the Rona crash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a couple little hiccups there. Argument could be made. Great. Are we setting records? Just kidding. I would not ever trade like that. Well, we got 4 reds. Next one's got to be a green. You probably won't be here next year if that's your trading strategy. Alright, IWM. It's not pricing in much. What was it, 760? 759. We're rounding up on that one. Really? Alright, well, those are your expected moves. I gotta say, it kind of seems like we're not really in the IWM. IWM looks like it's just getting started. I think the S&P goes for a crash. I don't think we get out of it without this. You know, so the Russell, the NASDAQ, they've both hit their official crash. I don't think the S&P makes it out without that. Personally, those are my numbers down here. I think we hit... And you can see we got this little volatility box right here. Yeah, so SPY around the 350 area. That's where I'll probably start going hard in my investment account. But in the meantime, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Sorry for those of you guys that just could not wait, could not sleep on Saturday because you had your notifications turned on and you didn't get one. Maybe even went to my channel looking for me. Where's Don? Is he okay? I was not. I was dying. But I'm really good at not dying. I'm still here. And I'll see you guys next week on time on this channel, but also, well, actually in an hour, on the Don Franz Show, where we go live, talk about the futures. It looks like a red open. Uh-oh. Red open. All right, well, let's see what happens. We're going to see this an hour after on the Don Franz Show, live, where I like to go and answer your questions, so hop over there, jump in the comments. We'll see you guys there.